Here I am at Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port railway station, the day before I start my Camino. This is the pilgrim's office in Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port, where most pilgrims head to get some free advice on the first stage of the Camino Frances, which takes you over the Pyrenees. The pilgrim's office also distributes the all-important Carnet de Pèlerin de Saint-Jacques, also known as the Credencial. This is the hotel where I stayed in Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port, Gîte Bidien, which I can highly recommend. This sign is advertising a forthcoming Pelote Basque tournament, which is a popular game in this part of France. On my way. The sign says 7 kilometers to Refuge Horizon, but it felt more like 70 kilometers. This is Refuge Horizon, a welcome relief after such a difficult day on the slopes. The view is pretty impressive though. I think this was the first time I'd ever walked above cloud level. Over the border and into Spain. The best spring water I've ever tasted, chilled and extremely invigorating. Up and up until I got to Le Poède, the highest point of my trek over the Pyrenees. It's all downhill from here. Arrived in Roncesvalles, and less than 800 kilometers to go. The beer was tasty, but the wasps were not so much fun, so it turned out to be a pretty quick break. With a box for discarded underwear. These little critters were a nuisance on the descent into Zubiri. On day 4, I walked with 6 other pilgrims from Spain, Germany and France. Some of the Magnificent Seven on their way to Pamplona. And when in Pamplona, you have to visit the Cafe Iruña, Ernest Hemingway's favourite bar. This is my hotel in Pamplona. Not a bad place, great location. Hemingway left his mark all over the city of Pamplona. With San Fermin, or the running of the bulls, one of his favourite fiestas. The long and winding Camino Road. On Alto de Perdon, I stopped for a beer and spent some time looking at the sculpture depicting different kinds of pilgrims. In the same place, there was a memorial to more than 92 people from Navarra who were murdered by the Franco regime during the Spanish Civil War. My hotel in Puente la Reina, a very nice place. Relaxing in the evening with a lovely glass of wine. part of the Roman road on the Camino. Buen Covido, as the graffiti says. Sunflowers on the Camino are always a welcome sight. Estella was quite a lively town. Where I enjoyed a very nice al fresco meal in one of its squares. I'd been looking forward to the Fuente del Vino in Irache. And it was quite an experience, though 9 o'clock in the morning was a tad early for a glass of red. Taking a coffee break with Camilla from Rome in the background, who became my Camino companion for 3 days. Snakes on the Camino. Arriving in Logroño with Camilla. One more cojo nudo, black pudding with an egg on top, popular in Logroño.